and being an artist that's coming from the 90s and being an artist now, I definitely see like a difference in what it takes. And this is just general information. Some of you guys might know this, but I'm just gonna start out with this. One of the things that I've had to get used to within the past, I would say 5 years, is the amount of output an artist has to do nowadays to stay relevant or just to keep people interested. Like back in the day, man, you could come out with an album every 2 years and you'd be straight, or you could come out with a hot song, you push it for 4 months, and then, you work on another one, or you put out a video, and like it had more traditional campaigns. And nowadays, you have to just about do something every day or almost every week, to keep people interested. And it's just, for guys like me, it was a big adjustment because you kind of couldn't just sit on music. You kind of had to finish it and then like move to the next. And it couldn't quite be as the brainchild that you wanted. And so I've had to learn how to get my thoughts together and get my point across a lot sooner. And just like, I've definitely have worked on tracks and they haven't been completely what I wanted them to be, but I still had to put them out. And sometimes it's gone well, sometimes it hasn't. So sometimes it's frustrating, but overall, like, I think I've been able to adjust, but it's kind of like one of those things where you just have to adjust with the times and keep it moving. I've noticed a lot of my friends who are still kind of more old school, they've had problems with staying relevant because they don't put out enough music. And even though they might put out like a hot track once or twice a year, it's just like it's not really keeping them relevant. So it's really important nowadays for artists to like be putting out something like every single week almost, I think. Something, mix or like maybe an underground track or like a remix or something. I try to like at least do a mix. I just dropped the album Headphone Concerto, so a lot of the stuff I had leading up to that dealt with the album. But within that, I was able to do like a remix and stuff. Now that the album campaign is kind of finished, I'm gonna do more remixes and stuff like that. But I think it's definitely important for producers to do that. So as an artist, I think SoundCloud is cool because it's really quick, but you do have to like really keep up with all the other artists that are catching people's attention. So unless you just got like really big marketing money, like that's one of the ways to do that is just to like keep on putting out output and building up your fan base. And so for me, I'm kind of in between. I think with me, it's kind of like I'm at the point where if I put myself on a schedule and like try to keep myself in the mind frame of like, okay, this week you have to do this, this, and this, I can get stuff done. So it's been working really well, especially last year. I really saw that I could do this. So that's been a pretty good thing. Because record sales have changed, the way that you make money has changed. It's not as direct. The most direct way you can make money nowadays is doing a show. And so that has changed for the more old school artists. It's changed the way that you live and the way you conduct your business. And for more of the newer artists, it just means like you have to hit the road and like, that's just the main part of what you do, It's a cool thing, but then like it kind of, if you have other things that come up in your life, it kind of like alters things because when you leave, it's like you leave. If you have to like always be on the road like all year, like you're not gonna really have a home life or anything like that. So it really like has really changed the scope of like artists who are out and relevant. Like if you're a younger artist, then it's a lot easier if you don't have anything at home really, or you could just bounce and like be gone for a long time. I'm still trying to figure out are really people if your SoundCloud followers or your Facebook followers, if that adds to people coming to your shows. Because back when MySpace was out, that wasn't quite happening, But now it's like, it's kind of in between. I just think it matters what you're doing, what type of artist. Because even with SoundCloud, if you think about it, SoundCloud kind of has its own community. You don't see like Taylor Swift or something like that doing like the SoundCloud type of thing. It's kind of like more production and beat driven. And so because of that, it's certain people who are listening to your stuff and they have certain tendencies and certain things that they do. And like I personally don't know of anybody who's got like a zillion SoundCloud followers who could do like a nationwide tour off of that. Like usually it sparks interest for maybe companies or something to promote that artist in a different way, and then it kind of picks up from there. I think Facebook, from what I've heard from like promoters, is like a pretty direct way of seeing where your fans are. Just because you can, on Facebook, you can see like, okay, in Colorado, this is where most of my likes are from, or like in Washington, and then like in Florida. So if you actually do a show there and you target it, you know, you're more likely to have maybe a better turnout because you can promote to them directly. You have to be involved in the scene, and you have to kind of put yourself in positions where you're gonna meet people who are putting people on like that. So if I was you, just like just on basic level, I would go to the show that you think is interesting and someplace you'd like to play. I would see who the promoter is, and I would talk and build a relationship with them, you know, and they'll start to put you on that show. Maybe you give them your stuff, you give them your SoundCloud, and they like it, and they have you open from there, and you kind of just build from there. And you know, and you gotta keep relationships cool and like just build natural relationships with people. I mean, you might have a crew of like 5 or 6 people that are in the scene that you like, and like 3 of them are dickheads and 2 of them are cool. So it's like, out of that scene, you're gonna have a couple relationships that you'll be able to like form and maintain naturally, and just keep it. You know, the biggest thing with being a new artist is you got to be patient. This industry it's hard, and it's really relationship based. I don't think people realize how much relationship based is. Like, there are so many people that get put on just off of friendships and like, oh, you're cool, or you look like this, or you got drunk with me here, or I saw you doing, you know, it's just like, it's pretty crazy. And so that just should tell you that maintaining good relationships is just important, you know, and things kind of just happen naturally. You know, you meet somebody and like they're not doing anything, and then like 5 years later, they're like some big DJ, or they got this place in this company, and so they still like your music and they start helping you out. Like, that's really common, and it's happened a lot, and it's really important. So, you know, just make sure you realize that. Like, it's starting out, man, just be patient and be consistent, and just keep on putting out output, and things will happen. I mean, that's just a law of nature. You know, what you put in, you get out. You just gotta be patient and be willing to see it when it comes.